Hey folks, welcome to the Contrarian Trader. This is Bob Desmond. Before we get into our swing trade review of advanced micro devices, I just want to tell you how we did last week. It was a good week. We closed out 3 trades. The first one was Plug PLUG. We did a scalp trade on that one. A couple of $100 in profits on a big gain, but we did well. VTMB, that was our first triple-digit gainer for 2014, so we broke the ice on our triple-digit gains for 2014. We had 3 of them last year. And we booked profits on Synta Pharmaceuticals, SNTA, with a 10% profit. I'm going to do a video on that. I'm still playing catch up with videos from other trades that we closed out. We didn't have any losing trades last week. We were down on 2 positions. We continue to manage those positions. One of them we added to. We brought down our average cost right near support. And the other one, we're looking to see whether or not we will pull back, hold support, and break down below support and stop out. Or will we put in a higher low and then break out? Now, before I get to the chart of AMD, please, if you want these videos in the future, just please enter your email address. And we hate spam too. You will not be spammed. I guarantee you that. You can always deselect, opt out, and you will not receive the emails anymore. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. If you're watching this on Facebook, like me on Facebook. If you have a question, leave a comment below. I'll get back to you. If you leave a comment below, everybody benefits because if you have the question, somebody else does too. And let's let everybody share from your question. And let's get to it. Let's go over our chart of advanced micro devices. See you there. Okay, now let's take a look at the charts that really influenced our trade of AMD. You might be saying, well, why isn't the chart of AMD up? Well, the reason is that there are actually 2 charts that we need to take a look at prior to taking a look at the chart of AMD, because we want to confirm whether or not the semiconductor sector, which AMD is a part of, is in an uptrend. Because if we're looking to long a semiconductor name, whatever the name may be, we want to make sure that the sector is in an uptrend as well. Because 80% of all stocks will trade with their sector and index. And we want to make sure that we're trading with the trend of the overall sector, unless, of course, the sector appears to be at extreme overbought levels and ready for a reversal. Then we'll take the opposite end of the trade. The next chart we want to take a look at, or we did take a look at, was IWM. This is the tracking ETF for the Russell 2000. Why does that matter? Again, a ton of semiconductors names make up this index. We want to make sure that the Russell 2000 remains in a healthy uptrend, and as you can see, it does. Now that we've confirmed that the semiconductor sector and the Russell 2000 is in an uptrend, now we can take a look at the weekly chart of AMD. Why are we taking a look at the weekly chart of AMD? Why does that matter? It matters because I believe in a technique called multi-period charting. I developed it. And multi-period charting means that you're identifying opportunities on a weekly chart or perhaps even a monthly chart showing the early stages of a breakout in an individual name or a sector. And we get in early. How many times have you seen Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan come out and upgrade a stock after it's already up 100%? You don't think that they identified that breakout in the early stages? They most certainly did. They're upgrading it to sell it to you because they need to create a market so they could sell their shares to somebody else. So we want to get involved early on in the game, along with those guys. And that's exactly what we did with AMD. We identified the fact that AMD had put in on a weekly chart a higher low, prior low $1.81, new low $2.26. It then broke out above this pivot point at $2.93. What does that mean? The trend, this downtrend, was now broken. We were no longer putting in lower lows. We were now putting in higher lows. And in fact, the day that we closed above $2.93, we put in a new weekly high. The trend to the downside was broken. Now the path of least resistance had changed in favor of longs. We rallied up to $4.65, met this downtrend line, pulled back. And that's when we really got involved with it. And we watched, we traded it off of this lower band, allowed it to rally. We booked profits. It came back down, retested support, and then we got back involved with it. And that brings us to our daily chart. And the reason why we liked it so much is take note of how it flashed a bottoming tail. That tells you that there are buyers below. There is support here. We identified our risk on a weekly chart. We knew when we had to get out of the trade to keep our losses small. All right, now let's go to the daily chart of AMD, and we'll drill down to why we got long, when we got long. So on a daily chart, remember, this is the second time that we had traded AMD. We booked profits somewhere back here, I forget where, but that was the initial trade. Then we were waiting for our breakout, and we got the breakout in the daily chart. It rallied, and I always tell my members, wait for the pullback and retest of the support level. We got it right here, this red candlestick. The following day, the minute we made a one tick higher move, we opened up our trade long of AMD, and the stock took off. And what I always teach my members as well is we always want to identify, and I go over this every Sunday on the week ahead commentary. I put together 2 videos. One is the market analysis of how each individual index and sector is doing, what's performing well, what's not performing well. The second video is the focus stock video, and that's where we take a look at our holdings and the stocks that we're looking to trade, and what do we expect the watch stocks to do in order for us to trade them. And in this case here, we wanted to see a pullback, a bottoming setup on AMD, and then a continuation rally. And what we also do on those videos is to identify a catalyst. What will be the catalyst to send the stock higher? The fundamentals on AMD are not that great. They had a good quarter last quarter. However, when you take a look at the short interest, that's the real catalyst. And we knew there were a ton of shorts in this stock. The path of least resistance was up, and we knew at some point in time the shorts would have to cover, and that's what we took advantage of. We noticed this doji star formation right here. It looks like a cross, and that's a sign of indecision between bulls and bears. And the following day, when I saw this black reversal, we didn't close lower on the day, but we gave up many of our gains. That was on the 6th. We booked profits of 7.7% or $5,063, and we moved to the sidelines. Now we've pulled back, and we can look to open up once again at a lower price. The chart still looks good. We like AMD, and I will go over this potential trade with members on the week ahead commentary set to be released on Sunday. And that's it, folks. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Like me on Facebook. And to get these videos in the future, please enter your email address. We hate spam too. You will not be spammed. You can always opt out. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.